Okay, so now we're going to look at sizing, so width and height classes. So we'll click on sizing over here and 05 sizing index HTML. So with widths, we have pretty much the same sizing options that we have with like margins and padding. So for instance, let's do, we'll just say BG dash black and text dash white. And I'm going to do a width dash 0 here, and inside we'll just say hello. All right, now if I save that, we're not going to see anything because the width is 0. Without any width, it's going to go all the way across just because it's a div, it's a block level element. If I do width, let's say 12, and we check out what that actually gives us in terms of width, you'll see that it's going to be 3 rem. So it's the same as it should be the same as the margin and padding. For instance, 4 should be 1 rem. So if we look at W4 down here, the width is going to be 1 rem or 16 pixels. Okay, so you have all those numbered options. You know, I believe it's up to, let's see, we can do 48. I believe it's up to 96, which I think is what, like 24 rem or something like that. All right, now we can also do percentages, and I have all the values down here. So these are the numbered values. Then I have the percentages here. All right, and there's all types of values you can use. So let's say we'll just grab one of these. Let's change the color. I'll say BG green dash 700. And then I'm going to change this to width slash 1/4. Okay, and then we'll do a third, we'll do a half, save that, and now you'll see it's just going to be, this is, for instance, half of its container. And if we look at what the actual value is for this, it's going to be width 50%. Now you can also do the complete width of the viewport, so we can say W-screen, and let's make that, we'll say blue 500. And let's see, why is that not showing? The heck? Oh. All right, so if we look at that, that's going to be viewport widths. So width is 100 viewport widths, or VW units. Now, if you want to do a percentage with 100%, then let's just change the color here. So you can do width dash full for that. All right, so if we look at that, width dash full, let's see. So that's going to be width 100%. Now the next thing is arbitrary widths, which can also come in handy. So let's change that. We'll just change the shade here to 700, and we're going to do width dash, and then in some brackets you can put absolutely anything. It can be pixels or percentages. Let's say we want it to be 300 pixels, then we could do that. Now max width, I believe I showed you this when we were looking at containers and stuff, but we'll do like 30 dummy text words here, and I'm going to change this to, let's say, max W dash small, and we'll change this to, let's say, gray, and I'll get rid of the text white. So if we take a look at that, you can see the width, I believe for max W small is 24 rem. So if we check it out right here, yeah, 24 rem. And if you want it in the middle, of course, you could do margin on the x-axis of auto. That will push it to the middle. If you want it to be a little bigger, you could do LG or XL, and you can change what those values are in the configuration. By default, max width LG is going to be 32 rem. All right, so let's see what else we got. Height. Let's take a look at some height values. Now I'm going to use flex here just to put them in a row, and I want to just push, let's say, items to the end. And then I'm going to create some divs here. We'll use BG dash orange, say 500, and then for the width, we'll do width dash 20, and then I'm going to create a bunch of these, so times 6. All right, and then I guess we should probably put some text in here, so I'll just put my cursor in here, and I'm doing this by just holding down Option or Alt, and we'll just say hello. So now we just have these 6 divs here. So I'm going to add some height classes. The first one we'll go ahead and do h-24, and let's do h-32. Whoops, which should be in here. So h32, and then let's do h-40, and I have all these values down at the bottom. Let's do 48, and we'll do 64, and then I think 96 is the highest by default. And if I save those, now you'll see that will change the height of these. And if you want to do a full screen height, just like you can do W screen, you can do H-screen. And yeah, we'll just do that. So I save that. That's going to take up the entire, whatever the viewport is. Okay, and that's used a lot with websites where you have a big hero area and it takes up the entire viewport. So this is it's just going to make it 100 VHs. All right, so these are the main height and width classes. Again, you can look down here for all the available values. But yeah, so next we're going to move on to just layout and different positioning. So for instance, relative, absolute, etc.